Hey guys, and welcome back to another unboxing video. This week, what do we got? A new suit jacket. Let's go! Oh man, this is gonna look so good at like weddings or like a job interview. Oh my god. Hello! Welcome to another episode of Crizzy Books. I'm Crizzy, or Criz, but only my homeboys call me Criz. And today I'm going to be doing a review for Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. Heart-Shaped Box was published in the year 2007, which is the year I graduated high school.
Oh my God!
I read Nosferatu earlier this year. That was actually the very first review video that I did for this channel. Do not go back and watch that. Do not go back and watch that. But I thought Nosferatu was fantastic. I really loved it. It was the first Joe Hill book that I'd ever read. Obviously, because of his famous father, I was interested to dive into what he has done. And I was very happy, very satisfied with it. I think that book is excellent. And it was very obvious that I needed to read more of Mr. Hill's work. And Heart-Shaped Box, a ghost story, rock and roll. Fucking sign me up, dude. In Heart-Shaped Box, we follow Judas Coyne. He is the lead singer of an older rock and roll band, pretty big deal of his time. I'm assuming this is kind of like an 80s. He was big during the 80s. And Jude is a collector of the macabre. He likes, weird objects, haunted things. He even owns a snuff film. If you don't know what a snuff film is, I'd tell you to look it up, but don't. It's a movie where someone gets murdered. His assistant finds a listing on eBay for a haunted suit that this ghost is attached to the suit. And very quickly, the spirit of the suit starts haunting him, terrorizing him, and trying to kill him. A truly haunting and at times very messed up, graphic, violent story that moves really quickly. It has a lot of heart and blood and guts, lovable characters and everything. So let's get into what I actually think about this book. This one, I feel like, had stronger characters than Nosferatu did. I really enjoyed all the characters here. I thought they were fleshed out really well. I especially loved Georgia. I think that Georgia was probably my favorite character in the book. She has a ton of development and a lot of depth to her. We find out a lot about her past and what makes her kind of the way that she is. That's not to say that Jude also doesn't grow through this story. He really does. At the beginning, he seems like a very, passive kind of person. He almost seems checked out, doesn't really give a shit about anything, doesn't seem to care about Georgia. As the book goes along, he grows closer to her and he becomes more introspective, especially about another character, Florida, his ex-girlfriend, who's kind of at the core of this whole haunting problem that he has. Even Craddock, Florida's sister, everybody I thought was fleshed out really well, and I really enjoyed the characters in this. Talking about the story itself, I think that it moves and evolves in such a way, it kind of is very mysterious at first, and you're not really sure why this ghost of a man is trying to kill Jude, and succeeding in killing others around him. And as the story goes, that becomes more and more unraveled, until we finally understand why all this is happening and what needs to happen in order to stop it, or can it even be stopped? Talking more about Craddock, as a character, just a horrible, vile person with supernatural abilities. He seems to be able to travel through an astral plane after his own death, but could also do that in life, I think. He could hypnotize people, and he was using his supernatural abilities to abuse his daughters and his granddaughter. He's a bad guy. He's a piece of shit. But the first time that we meet him, after Jude gets the suit and puts it in his house, unboxes it out of the heart-shaped box, Jude sees this old man sitting in a chair in his hallway. And this whole scene was very early in the book and quite scary. It was unsettling. I actually really liked it. I'm not a fan of ghosts. I don't fuck with ghosts, okay? I believe in ghosts, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. they scare me. I like to believe in paranormal stuff. It makes life more fun. But yeah, this whole scene, and a lot of the scenes with Craddock throughout, and the way that he's able to kind of pop in and out is really haunting. There's a lot of scenes throughout where Jude seems to be kind of losing his mind, or maybe he's in a dream nightmare state, but maybe it's also reality. And I really liked these scenes a lot, and it's clearly Craddock messing with his psyche and trying to get a hold of him. There's one scene in particular involving Georgia and a gun. All of these scenes are incredibly messed up, and just had a really good sense and feeling of losing touch with the reality. You really do kind of feel like you're losing your mind along with him. His emotional spikes from just totally calm to insanely angry and evil. I thought all this was awesome. It would be wrong of me not to talk about his dogs, Bon and Angus, who are also named after AC/DC band members, which I love to see some Bon Scott. Definitely the best lead singer of AC/DC. And I love that the dogs are playing this role of kind of spiritual protector for them. These dogs are able to see Craddock. They can fight him off, and they do that until their dying breath. And there's just nothing better than a loyal-ass dog who's willing to die for you. Getting to the ending, I thought it was fantastic. It's really impossible not to compare him to his papa. Especially with an ending like this. I mean, this was such a king ending in all the best ways. I thought it was splendid. And at the end of the day, I just really enjoyed this. I don't know that I loved it. I think that I still like Nosferatu more than this, but I still think that this was so solid. And finding out that this was his debut novel, that is crazy. This is so good for a debut, especially given the circumstances of who he is and probably the immense pressure that would put on somebody trying to make a name for himself and stand out amongst his father's work without being compared to it. It's probably pretty tough, but I think he did a great job. This is really, really, really good for a starting novel. Overall, I'm going to give Heart-Shaped Box a 4 out of 5. Very, very strong 4. No reason other than I just think that the other book of his that I've read was better, and that's it. But this is such a strong book. I highly recommend it, especially if you like rock and roll, dude. It gives you some rock and roll ghost stories up in your life. Go check it out. It's really great. But what do you think? Have you read Heart-Shaped Box? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to like. Go boo to that subscribe button, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye.